SNP MSP accuses media and police of collusion in party finances probe. I mean, that's not like them. It's not like the media and the police to collude with each other. How unbecoming. You know, there was that really weird instance with me where the press knew the exact date and time of my arrest. You know, that was weird. Turns out the police actually broke the law. But yeah, James Dornan accused Police Scotland of making Nicola Sturgeon's home look like Fred West's house when it was searched. An SNP MSP has accused the police and media of colluding to make Nicola Sturgeon look bad during the investigation into the party's finances. Sturgeon was arrested on Sunday in relation to Operation Branchform, the name given to the inquiry by detectives, around 2 months after her husband and former party chief executive Peter Murrow was also taken into custody. Both, as well as then party treasurer Colin Beattie, were released without charge pending further investigation. Nicola Sturgeon herself was also recently arrested and released pending further investigation. Along with the arrest of Murrow, police searched the home he shares with the former First Minister, erecting a tent in the front garden to shield evidence from the public and watching media, with pictures of the search published worldwide. Speaking to the newsagent's podcast, MSP James Dornan accused the press of making a big play of Sturgeon's arrest. I mean, that is a pretty big deal. Is a pretty big deal, and from some police officers that I've spoke to, they kind of want to fight actual crime instead of arresting people for tweets. Yeah, they kind of realise that a lot of people hate the police. You know, that whole, like, oh yeah, ignore the grooming gang, but if anybody makes an offensive tweet, we'll let you know, and everything. Yeah, the police are sick of that. They are sick of that shit, and they hate it. And I'll be real, I can't blame them. The police and the media seem to have some kind of collusion. I mean, they always have had for like a very long time, about making sure that the media are in attendance when the slightest thing happens, he said. It's like Fred West's house when they come to look for a paper trail. There is no evidence to suggest journalists were given advance notice of any of the arrests relating to the investigation. They would have been. They 100% would have been. Yeah, they definitely 100% would have been. And Police Scotland Chief Constable Sir Ian Livingston has defended the conduct of the force, telling the Times earlier this month the probe has been proportionate and necessary. Speaking at a meeting of the Scottish Police Authority board in May, Sir Ian also chided politicians for casting aspersions on the probe. I would urge all civic leaders, if offering any comment or thoughts on what is a live investigation, to act with prudence and responsibly, he said before Sturgeon was arrested. You're not going to shut up. Watch this. I'm going to arrest the bitch. Wholly inaccurate assertions and uninformed speculations will only serve to damage justice, infringe the rights of individuals, and undermine the rule of law. I mean, I would say that's been happening already for a long time. Meanwhile, reports suggest First Minister Humza Yousaf told SNP MSPs to back his decision not to suspend his predecessor following her arrest or quit the party. The comments, briefed to a newspaper by 3 anonymous sources, came during a meeting of the SNP group at Holyrood. The submarine. I'll talk about that later. I'll talk about that when it's finalised. I think it just got announced like 10 minutes ago that they found a debris field. And that's everyone dead. Maybe I'll cover that in the next few days. Who knows? But yeah, this whole, the media are working with the police. Yeah, the media offer the police money for tip-offs. That's like been known for like a very long time. And if the police do give the tip-off, they are breaking the law, because any interactions that the police have with the media, the police are supposed to file it. I spoke to this journalist on this date at this time. This is what was said. This was the information exchange, blah, blah, blah. The police are not allowed to just sit and have a natter with journalists. However, police, you know, the pay is not that good, and getting kicked a couple of extra grand for a little bit of information, hey, you know, I'd be tempted too. But yeah, the police and the media absolutely do collude all the time. All the time. I mean, the only way that the press would have known about the exact date and time of my arrest is if the press were literally psychic. That's the only way they could have found it out. Well, the other way they could have found it out is the police told them. The police told them where it was. So yeah, you know, Nicola, you didn't really give a shit when it was happening to me, and the police and the press were colluding over me. So yeah. I'm not going to say anything, because apparently people are going to start getting picked up for contempt of court for commenting on it. So we will just, again, sit back and wait to see what happens with the trial, if there is one.